Hello everyone, my name is Jacob, aka Fanopy Growth, and I am here to tell you 7 reasons why Canopy is king. So the first reason is inspired by cannabis investing legend, executive chairman of Terrascend, Jason Wild. So Canopy is in an interesting position. So we have the ability to eat since we do have a legal business in Canada. So we're based in Canada. So Canopy Growth is selling THC and CBD in Canada right now legally nationwide. So we're eating that way. Another way we're eating is our CBD business in the United States. So Martha Stewart is at the helm and she's at the forefront of that with her CBD business. So that's another way that we're eating now. So when it comes to dreaming, we have this dream to enter the US THC market. So that's where the big money is going to be. And so that's how we're eating while we dream. So, to add some more complexity to this situation, Canopy also has a 27% ownership of Terrascend, a North American operator. So, how they managed to do that and maintain their U.S. stock listing is an amazing thing, I would say. We'll go more over Terrascend later. Another part of this is Acreage Holdings. So, Acreage was a company that we had first. Bruce Linton was the founder of Canopy Growth, and he was one of the guys that struck this deal to acquire Acreage Holdings. So originally the deal was to acquire the whole thing for about $3.5 billion. It has since been renegotiated so that we're going to be acquiring about 70% of the company for about 800 million once a permissible event happens. So Acreage has a footprint in about 12 states in the U.S. They're turning the tide to profitability right now. Former Pfizer executive Peter Caldini is the CEO. He is a big M&A guy, so we are excited to see what he has up his sleeves. Another part of this reason why Canopy is king is the sports nutrition company BioSteel. BioSteel is a company that is well known in the sports world, and that's actually going to be our next reason why Canopy is king is going to be BioSteel. So BioSteel. So BioSteel was founded in 2009 up in Canada by John Salenza and a former NHL star Michael Camilleri. They set out to be a sports nutrition company that focused on premium natural ingredients and essential nutrients needed to power high level physical activity. So, you know, this is one big thing that sets us apart. So, lots of athletes are using this right now. Over 70% of the teams in the 4 major sports leagues have purchased this product, BioSteel. So, some of the key athlete partners include Super Bowl champion Pat Mahomes, Ezekiel Elliott, Luka Doncic, numerous other top athletes. Most recently, the head coach of the Brooklyn Nets, Steve Nash, he signed a multi-year deal to be a ambassador, sports ambassador. So that's a big thing. Brooklyn Nets have, some would say, the uh, biggest or best team in the NBA. Most superstars, I would say. So it's good to see BioSteel, involving people that are at the forefront. So BioSteel is a great alternative to things like Gatorade and Powerade because there's no sugar, uh, very few calories, much less calories. We use recyclable materials. We're really trying to, target more ethically sound people when it comes to sports nutrition. So, number 3, Acreage and Terrascend. So we talked a little bit about Acreage Holdings. Acreage, so they're formerly High Street Capital Partners. They're founded in 2011 in Maine. It was founded on the understanding that, this is a miraculous plant that has the power to heal and change the world. So Acreage, I mentioned they have that 12 state footprint. about 500,000 square feet of cultivation and processing space. One interesting thing about Acreage is so uh, one of their members on the board of directors is former Republican Congressman and Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives John Boehner, and a former conservative Prime Minister of Canada Brian Mulroney. So these are big guys that are involved in Acreage. That was one of the things that got a lot of people turning their heads when they seen that people that were, high profile were co-signing cannabis, a cannabis company like Acreage. So, we talked about the deal, it has been since restructured, which was great, once our CEO, our current CEO, Canopy, David Klein got in there, he did renegotiate that deal, which I thought was, amazing and genius for him to do that because things have changed, the outlook has changed on the cannabis industry, so it's nice to adjust that price accordingly. So, you know, Jason Wild, so Terrascend is the other guys that we got an interest in. So Terrascend, we got that 27% ownership. So at the helm of Terrascend is one of the most revered investors in cannabis, Jason Wild. Shout out to Jason. Uh, we love your content that you put out on Twitter. I follow you, so shout out to you, man. I'm definitely a follower and a fan. So he was a former pharmacist turned investor, and so one in turn in cannabis investing tycoon. So he's the executive chairman of Terrascend right now. Who knows? Maybe he'll be the CEO as well, but we'll kind of let things shake out. So one interesting thing is that Jason was an early investor in the Canopy growth. So this kind of comes full circle with Canopy having that 27% ownership of Terrascend. So, they've been doing business together and it looks like they're going to keep on doing it. Some of the talk that I've heard too, I would not be surprised if Canopy acquires more of Terrascend, if not the full thing. So this North American operator, Terrascend, was the first cannabis company with sales in the US, Canada, and Europe. So, currently they do have a prime position in some key markets in the US. New Jersey, in particular, they have a very coveted spot in northern New Jersey where there are very limited licenses and they have the biggest capacity. So, you know, simple math, biggest capacity, best spot, limited licenses. I think they're going to make a lot of money once New Jersey gets the recreational up on board and up and running. So, and New York's going to follow very soon, shortly after. That's actually where Constellation is, Acreage, Terracin. New York is going to be a very interesting place to see how that plays out. So they also have operations in Maryland, uh, Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, even California. So Terracin, they're definitely a force to be reckoned with, and we're definitely going to keep a great look and eye on them. Next up, number 4, Supreme Cannabis and Ace Valley. So these were Canadian companies that Canopy acquired. These acquisitions are very important because they filled a hole in Canopy's portfolio when it comes to premium brands. So this was really important. So Supreme, their baby and their big claim to fame is 7 Acres, which is a brand that they have. Very good premium cannabis, and they know how to produce it at a great cost-effective way. In a great cost-effective way. They have good financial structure. They're already delivering strong performance. And, this was a great acquisition in my eyes. So Supreme has been crushing it in Canada, but they didn't have the extra capital and to enter the U.S. market the right way. So Canopy needed that ultra high quality set of products to complement their offerings, and Supreme needed some more money to get into the U.S. So that was a great partnership and a great acquisition. So I think that the work ethic is going to definitely rub off on Canopy. Seeing everything that they do. Sorry about that, guys. Uh, so, yeah. So it's definitely gonna be interesting to see how we leverage Supreme and see what we can do to use them and also give them what they need so that we can all dominate together. So Ace Valley is another great acquisition. So they're another premium company in Canada. They have a specialty in ready-to-use products, very nice imaging and packaging and aesthetic. They have a cult-like following, them and Supreme. So if we can leverage these brands into the US, I think we're going to have a great demand for these products. So, Supreme, Cannabis, Ace Valley, these are great things to look forward to as far as brands for Canopy. All right, so number 5, strong management team of proven professionals. So we kind of hinted at David Klein. So David is a very integral part in Canopy. He's the current CEO. He was the replacement for Bruce Linton. He was formerly the CFO of Constellation Brands, the US-based beer company, beer, wine, and spirits company that we're going to touch on. So Constellation is the leader in Mexican beer in the US, which is a craze. So, they have some very important brands. So David was a part of that, to get them very nice and profitable and keep their money rolling in, being the CFO. So we like that expertise that he's bringing in here, you know. So Constellation is a giant company. They have like Svedka Vodka, Corona, Pacifico, Modelo, amazing brands. So we love to have David a part of this team. I feel safe for having David there with our money because I know he's gonna use it wisely. So another major acquisition on the talent side that we have is Martha Stewart. So Martha Stewart is a titan in the business world, with her products being on the forefront of the U.S. market for over 25 years. With a reputation that precedes her, she's been a dominating player in any arena that she enters. So having her a part of our team and now as a strategic advisor, it's really exciting because she has such a wide reach and a trusted name and voice that I feel very comfortable with her representing us. And another thing about her is that she brings so much experience and like a fan base and a following that covers a lot of demographics, from younger consumers to, even more mature ones. So we love having her part of our team. Her products are flying out the door in the US. So, she's making up over 90% of the sales for CBD products in the US. So, she's definitely a great acquisition to have. Another proven professional was Sol Clahane. Hopefully, I'm saying her name right. But she used to play major roles for both Coca-Cola and PepsiCo. She's an expert in understanding consumer demands, shopping behaviors, and her presence is just an example of how big cannabis is going to be. So she left Coca-Cola to get into the cannabis space. So it encourages me to see people making that jump like that, you know. Number 6, celebrity partnerships. So this has been a big strategy for Canopy, I would say. So, you know, Bruce Linton was the first guy to really get people into Canopy, I would say. And, celebrity partnerships are very valuable. Sometimes when you see your favorite celebrity using something, it makes you want to do it too. So I love the branding and, to get celebrities involved. So Bruce, he played a big part of this. He set out to make a tech company that sold weed and that was the most popular name in the space as well. So Bruce is a hell of a salesman. He got me into the company and a deal maker, just to see by his track record. So starting with Snoop Dogg. So Canopy has been in collaboration with him since 2018, with his Leafs by Snoop brand being sold in Canada. Constellation is currently using him now in the US when it comes to Corona. He's like a spokesperson or ambassador. So I love to see him involved. Snoop is the most famous person when it comes to weed in my eyes, or cannabis. So I know we're just chomping at the bit to be able to leverage him in a cannabis way in the US as well. So, this was really, really important here. So, and then also another part of this is Seth Rogen. So Seth Rogen, early on, he was involved with us. He has a brand called Houseplant. So Houseplant is very, very popular in Canada. Cult-like following. They're even bringing it to the U.S. So, you know, Seth is one of the main parts because his following is so wide, and he's one of the first and the biggest actors in the United States that really embrace cannabis. So I really appreciate him for doing that. We mentioned Martha before as well. She's an amazing celebrity, and it's amazing that we have her. She swears by use of CBD daily, Martha Stewart CBD, for, taking the edge off and relaxing sometimes. She's just great to be an ambassador for that. She doesn't use THC, so she doesn't like to smoke cannabis or marijuana or anything like that, but it definitely helps her, the CBD, to relax and, you know, keep calm and, heal herself from a stressful day or whatever she's dealing with. So, I love to have her involved. So, with her being a strategic advisor, she's innovating a lot of stuff, and, she's even having her reach from her gummies. So, Canopy has got the Tweed strawberry gummies released in Canada. I bet she played a part in that, to oversee everything. The gummies are great that she sells in the US. The CBD gummies, they're really great. They're not like your average, candy that you buy from the store. It's amazing. So celebrity partnerships, definitely one of the main reasons why Canopy is king. Last but not least, Constellation Brands. In the beginning, there was Constellation Brands. Extremely popular in the US. They are a beer, wine, and spirits company based out of New York, family owned and operated. Very dominant player, and actually the biggest beer importer in the US. So they are producers of enormous brands such as Corona, Modelo, Pacifico, Svedka. They have a lot of money. They made a decision to invest $5 billion into a Canadian cannabis company called Canopy Growth. So they made this decision not lightly. We know billionaires don't like to throw their money away. So to me, this was a major decision and a bold one. I see it as a way that Canopy and Constellation can form a great partnership, and Constellation can secure their future. So they've developed the ability to create drinks that make people feel good. No sugar, no calories, no hangover. Not to mention they taste great. So alcohol can be effective to have a good time, but it can also have a harmful effect on your liver and other organs. So they knew that cannabis was going to be coming for them. So with this prohibition beginning to be lifted, it makes total sense that Constellation wanted to be the first at the table. So they're just chomping at the bit to be able to enter the US in a big way. So more than just CBD and hemp products, but with THC. This is going to be the big game changer. And my view is that if we can go from around $24 per share to over $50 per share just off of the hype of Canada going legal, I don't see why we can't go up 10 times or even 20 times once the US actually goes legal. I mean, the US is 10 times bigger than Canada. So, with the help of Constellation, there's no doubt in my mind that Canopy is king and that we will continue to dominate and make a ton of money for the investors and for the company as well. So, I hope you enjoyed this piece here. And you can definitely check me out here on YouTube. Search Fanopy Growth. That's Canopy with an F as in Frank. Fanopy Growth. You can check us out on Twitter too, Fanopy Growth, and you know, stick around with us. And one day we're going to be at 100, 200, hey, maybe even $1,000 per share. This is going to definitely be the biggest cannabis company you're ever going to see. CPG and cannabis, tech, everything you can imagine. That's great, and that's going to be Canopy Growth. So I definitely thank you guys, and good luck to everybody. Hopefully you invest in Canopy. I went all in Canopy. Don't diversify, don't diversify. Let's get it all together here, guys. Okay. So thanks again, and have a great evening, morning, and take care.